Okay, guys, we are on live. Jigarik, I am pinning you. Rafal, you want to ask me a question?
Yeah. So, how, like you say, when a person's depressed, he's down, he's lazy, this, that. Usually, when you sin, the bad angel, I don't know, does that to you, or whatever the case may be, right?
Right.
But what if a person that doesn't really sin and he goes through that? What is it behind that? Like, how do you explain
You're asking
that?
a very, very powerful question. The answer to that is whenever I say sin, it's not necessarily to go ahead and do a sin outright. Like I gave yesterday examples of eating not kosher, looking at girls, correct? But you know when you do mitzvot, if you don't do it the complete way, the way it's supposed to be done, there's a fault. There's also it's a sin on your part. You understand? For example, a person can put on tefillin, right? Where does the tefillin belong? It belongs right between your eyes, correct? But it has to be above the hairline. How many people you see they put the tefillin below the hairline? They don't fulfill the mitzvah of tefillin. You think they're doing the mitzvah. Or they put the tefillin on their arm and they put it below the bicep. They don't fulfill the mitzvah. How many people you have, they daven Shemona Esrei and they have no kavanah? They didn't do the mitzvah. So yeah, it looks outside that they're doing the mitzvah, but really they're not doing the mitzvah.
What if they don't have a hairline?
You have to go what you remember where your hairline was. No, what you have to remember.
You estimated, wasn't it?
Right. It cannot be all the way in the back. Right? It's over here. Okay. Yes, Rafal, you're good?
Yeah.
Also, you have a lot of times when a person comes to learn Torah, correct? Instead of learning Torah, he's on his phone, for example, right? He's on his phone texting and he's looking up. That is a grave sin. How can you learn Torah and at the same time be on your phone? Yeah, but while you're doing a mitzvah, you're also doing a sin. Or a person comes to shul and he decides to speak in shul, then you're doing a mitzvah, but also you're doing a sin. So it's not only a sin, chas v'shalom, when, like outright not eating kosher or looking at girls. No, even the religious people can do sins. Okay?
Maybe your soul just has to go through that for something that you don't understand, but you'll understand when you're...
Well, what does that mean, Joe? What does that mean? So what does that mean, Joe? Your soul has to go through that.
I believe in reincarnation. You have souls, you have missions.
Well, don't worry about everybody. Okay, don't worry about what you believe in right now. We're here now. We have to fix what we came down to in this world to fix. Don't wait for the next opportunity. It may never come.
Have to fix. Everybody has different missions. Everybody reflects on somebody next to them in a different way. Your life affects other people.
I'm not saying not, but don't give yourself that leeway to chas v'shalom, act in a certain way, thinking you're going to be reincarnated or that's your mission. Don't think that way. You don't go playing a game looking to lose, right? Thinking you don't walk into any betting sports so that they bet. You don't bet to lose, you bet to win. You don't come down to this world to, make mistakes. Yeah, you could make chas v'shalom, by the way, but you're not to do it intentionally. Jigarik, are you with me or not, Jigarik?
I'm with you. I actually had this same question when I just started becoming a little bit more observant.
Yeah.
Of like, well, how do I know what the purpose of my life is? What's the meaning? What's the calling? And I think Rabbi, maybe you shared, or Rabbi Akiva said it's whatever's hard for you to do or not to do, right? So if you're a person that just speaks Lashon Hara all the time, that means that's your tikkun. It's to fight the spirit of not speaking Lashon Hara. Or if it's hard for you to wake up and daven in the morning, that's your tikkun. That's one of the reasons why you're here, is to make sure that you're davening in the morning, because you probably weren't davening in your past life and stuff like that.
Correct, 100%.
That's Ruben, honestly.
Yeah.
Take notes, Roland. Take
notes. Okay, guys, today we have a very powerful piece. Today's piece, I think, is again. I want to ask you guys a question. Let's do it like this. Hit
us, Rabbi.
Okay, 1 second. I can't hit you right now. You're on vacation. You got it. Even when you're on vacation, you're learning. Okay. It says in the Torah, Chayecha Kodem. Does anybody know what does it mean, Chayecha Kodem? Your life comes first. There's a rule in the Torah. Your life comes first. You got it. If right now you and your wife are walking in the desert, chas v'shalom, and you only have 1 cup of water, if both of you drink, both of you are going to die.
Ask, I'm giving it to my wife. Rabbi.
You're not going to give it to... Don't tell me stories, you got it.
All right, we'll share, Rabbi. We'll share.
No, if both of you share, both of you are going to die. Only one of you could drink it. You're not giving... Don't tell me stories, you got it. Please.
Are you saying that we have to give it to our wives?
No, you have to drink it yourself.
Oh.
Your life comes first. Your life comes
How
first.
do you? So if it's God forbid your children, you're with your child. What do you?
But your life comes first. You also have an obligation to take care of yourself. Chas v'sham, you should never know these things. But
Right.
one second, but there's a concept in the Torah that says your life comes first, correct? But there's another concept in the Torah that says, Ve'ahavta l're'echa kamocha, you should love your fellow as much as you love yourself. What? I don't get it. So if a person's right now in the desert with one cup of water, if I have to love I would drink, so let me give it to him. So you have two contradictory verses in the Torah. Are you guys all with me? Elon, you with me?
Yeah, but there's nothing contradictory, right? There's
correct. We're gonna make sense out of it. Mike, you hear the question, Mike? You're on mute, Mike. You're on mute.
Mikey, you're on mute, brother.
Yeah, I heard the question. Yeah.
Yeah, you want to repeat it?
Do I want to repeat it?
Yeah.
You asked.
Well, no. The question is
the exact question, but something about the contradictory.
In one verse it says you come first. In the next verse it says, no, you have to love another Jew just like you love yourself, so they come first.
Okay.
How does that make sense? Okay? Okay, Rabotai.
together.
Huh?
We come together.
I can't, what do you say?
We agree on something together. We share.
But it's only enough to save one person.
Nah, you make it work.
Whoever gets to it first.
If there's like
Willpower.
10 ounces and there's 2 people, you do 5 ounces each of water.
No, you're not going to make it. Okay, watch. Rabotai, listen what Rabbi Shai Pinto says.
First?
Say it again.
Who got to the water first?
No, you have one cup of water. Both of you have 1 cup of water, not who got to it first. You were holding 1 cup of water. What do you mean who got it first?
Where did the cup of water come from?
You had a bottle of water that you had enough for one person. You had a bottle of water in your backpack. Only enough for one person.
Okay. Who's the most likely to survive?
No, I'm saying no. What do you mean? No, we know you're going to survive. The guy with the bottle of water is going to survive. Rabotai, I want to read for you in Hebrew over here. It's a very powerful language. And I'm going to show you today, when you have a person or a rabbi or Talmud Chacham, even as parents, whenever we rebuke another Jew or our children, this is the real Ve'ahavta l'recha kamocha, Jigarik. This is, if you really want to know if the next person next to you loves you or not, see if he rebukes you.
What does rebuke mean?
He tells you what you're doing is wrong. He says, don't drink, don't drive, don't smoke, don't go against Hashem, do the right thing, don't eat that kosher. He's always trying to, correct you to go in the right path of Hashem. He's always rebuking, like, who does the best, Mike, who does this the best? The wives. You don't gotta ask no questions. They do it for you for free. They tell you everything what you're doing is wrong. No, but what do? We don't listen to them, right? We get upset with them. Why you get upset? And I want to show you, Rabotai, from today's teaching, how this is very important. Look what he says. He says over here, 24,000 talmidim hayu leRabbi Akiva. Everybody knows Rabbi Akiva had 24,000 students. Elon, you know what's 24,000 students? Elon, he's sleeping. This
That's
guy.
a lot of students.
Elon, do you know what's 24,000 students?
Yeah, that's 2 dozen.
You see, how can I learn like 2,000? See this.
Rabbi, 24,000 is a lot of students.
Yo, Rabbi, you deal with me, that's 24,000 alone.
No, but Rabotai, if you look at 24,000 students, like we spoke about one time, if you look into a room, right, you're giving a lecture to a room where you have people in your conference room, when there's 20 people, 30 people, it's a lot of people. 100, it's a lot. 24,000? You know what's 24,000 students? So what it says over here, V'kulam meitu mepesach ad atzeret, and all of them died Jigarik in one short span from Passover until Shmini Chag Atzeret. Can you imagine Jigarik? With a few, a month and a half, 24,000 every single day. He had around 700-800 burials. Can you imagine that? Chas v'shalom.
Rabbi, foolish question.
There's nothing foolish. Go ahead.
How did they die?
What?
That's a good. That was the question. Yeah.
What happened?
How did they die?
We're going to speak about that.
Why were they dying?
We're going to speak. That's what we're going to speak about.
They died because they did Lashon Hara.
No, 1 second. No, 1 second. We got to be careful when we speak of, these were giants. It's not regular people. These were giants. So he says, and all of them died. Jigarig, listen to this. From Passover until Shavuot, basically. Why? Because they did not honor each other. Well, for what? For that, okay, kill 500 of them. So maybe Rabbi Akiva is going to understand, maybe I'm doing something wrong. What? 24,000? Jigari, can I put it into perspective? If you lose 500 right now, you ain't going to sleep. You know that, right? It's going to eat you alive. If we lose one Jew, it's 24,000.
700 a day.
It's around 700-800.
Rabbi, based on this, everything that's not being done correctly, we should be dying. We shouldn't even be alive anybody today.
No, so we're gonna see. It's not
that nobody keeps the Torah the way it's fully intended. But if we don't do this one thing, we're gonna die. We don't do this one thing, we're gonna die.
No. But over here, we're gonna see what does that mean. We can't take it.
Alive.
No, it's not like you think they didn't honor each other. Of course they honored each other. They used to learn Torah. What do you mean they didn't honor each other? The Torah says Derech Eretz Kadma Torah. You have to honor another person. What do you mean? Of course they honored. And we're going to see it's a different type. What does that mean they didn't honor? We're going to see it's a different type of how they didn't honor. Remember, you speak about great rabbis. You're not speaking about any Joe Schmo. So he says over here, Jigari, listen to this. He says, he says you have a difficult question over here. 24,000 תלמידים ימותו בגלל שלא נהגו כבוד זה בזה? What, is that a reason to punish 24,000 students? דבר שנראה חמור, קשה ורע שלא נהגו כבוד בזה, אבל בשביל זה תמחה התורה מן העולם? Jigari, you know what's 24,000 students? We don't have their learning Torah no more. There's no more, their Torah is erased.
How many people fit in a stadium in a normal...
I have no idea, ask the wrong person.
20,000. Barclays Center is 20,000.
That's a lot of people. Yeah, it looks like it's 50,000 people there.
No, it's 20,000.
No, but he says, is that...
Was he teaching each one individually, or did he have like a...
No. Not individually. No, why? It's like he was like the head of the yeshiva, and he would teach them. And they would have a chavutos. It was a whole program, like you run a system. So he says it doesn't make sense, just because they did not show honor to one another, you're going to go ahead, you're going to erase 24,000 people from the world, and because of that, you know what's going to end up happening? Now the world is going to be desolate from their Torah that they taught. Where's the Torah?
Right.
You understand? You're not...
Because at that time, correct me if I'm wrong, we only had the oral Torah at that time, right?
We had the written, we had the oral Torah. The written and the oral Torah. We had both. But can you imagine from each Tana, a lot of Torah comes out?
But Rabbi, to Michael's point, he makes a good point, right? I mean, like, we all, if that was the case, then we all are supposed to not be in this world right now. Is it because they were held to a higher standard? Is that
correct?
Why?
Number one, because yes, they are held to a much higher standard. But we're going to see if there's
learned people, rabbis, they're always held to a higher standard.
Much higher standard, correct. Righteous people are very if Hashem is going to go ahead and is going to try to be, particular with us, we're not going to be able to last one moment.
Right.
But that's not the. I want to show you what he says. He says there's a great secret over here, and he says like this. It's brought down in the Midrash. He says that Rabbi Akiva, he took 5 new students. He didn't give up. After 24,000, he didn't give up. He took 5 new students. And you know what he told them? Listen what he told them. You know why they died? You know what means that they didn't honor one another? Not like you and me and you think what we don't honor one another. No. They were stingy when it came to their Torah teaching. You're not listening to what I just said, Jugarik. You have people that have billions of dollars. You're asking for $100, that's as if you're taking his heart away.
No, I think a better comparison is if you ask them to teach you the business that they're operating, right? They're already billions, and yet, right? So that's kind of what they were doing, is they were stingy in teaching each other the Torah.
Correct. They were stingy in their Torah. So he told them...
How do 24,000 students suffer from the same disease?
Oh, because that's what... I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you right now. He says... Atem lot you can. He warned them. He said, "You guys don't be like that." Miyad amdu milu kol eretz Yisrael b'Torah. Immediately, these 5 students they got up and they filled the whole land of Israel with Torah. Listen what he says. V'hine midivri Rabbi Akiva, from the words of Rabbi Akiva, Muchach is proven she'avon shel talmidav haya bekach. The sin of the students was like this. Sha'eta enehem tzara b'torah ze lezeh. They were stingy in their Torah. Habaya shalem hayta she'enehem hayta tzara b'torah. Lo rak shelo nahagu kavod ze b'zeh, ela she'enehem hayta tzara b'torah ze lezeh. Watch this. So it's two things now. Not only did they not honor one another, but they were also stingy in their Torah. So he says, what does it mean they were stingy? So now we're going to go into a different section, for example, for a second.
Doesn't stingy mean cheap?
Yeah. What means cheap? What means cheap? When you don't want to share something that you have, you don't want to share with somebody else. Right? You have a big house, you don't want your name. Why can't, like, you got to set a good example. You have a successful business, teach it to me. Why don't you also want me to have it? Because you're afraid I'm going to take away your parnasa. Why don't you teach it to me? Rabotai, I want to share with you, one second, let me just get something. Do you guys know how our Torah came down to us? Jigarik. How do we receive the Torah? Do you know how the whole Torah process works?
Directly from Hashem to Moshe to Yoshua.
Right.
So it says that Moshe Rabbeinu,
hierarchy.
Moshe Rabbeinu accepted the Torah from Har Sinai, from the Mount of Sinai. Then he passed it down to Yehoshua. Listen to this. From Yehoshua to the elders, from the elders to the prophets, from the prophets to the great men of the assembly, etc. It continues until it reaches us. You with me or not? Now listen to this. You know what they were missing? They didn't want to teach the Torah. So you know what the problem is? Our whole Torah is based off giving over. You have to teach other people Torah. He says like this, Rabotai. We know that the Torah can only pass from generation to generation through giving it over and then receiving it, etc. He says, those students, you know what their problem was? What does it mean they were stingy in their Torah? They did not want to transfer their learning Torah from one generation to the next. If they don't want to transfer the Torah from one generation to the next, what do I need you for? You see what just happened? That's what they were stingy. Over there is the great danger, because if the Torah is not passed down, how me and you going to know what needs to be done? So he says,
why not? Why didn't they want to do it? That's the question. What?
You asking why? I don't know why.
Want to teach?
I don't know why they did not want to do it. They did not want to pass it down. So by them not wanting to pass down the Torah from generation to generation, because of them, the next generation is going to lack Torah. So because of them, then Hashem said, I don't need this kind of students in the world. I need the Torah to continue. Can you imagine you have a grandfather that comes in and he tells you, Yaakov, you're a Kohen. And your grandfather tells your father, you're a Kohen. And the father says to the son, you're a Kohen. Say the son doesn't want to tell his grandson that he's a Kohen. He's not going to even say that he's a Jew. What now? He's going to think he's a non-Jew. He's going to think he's a regular person. He's not going to know who he is. That's a problem. Our Torah goes down from tradition to tradition. Our Torah never changes. It always goes down from one person to the next. But they didn't want to do that. They didn't want to send it to us. So now he says like this, listen to this. But again, Rabotai, we still didn't answer the question, Jigarik. How are you gonna solve the contradictory verses where it says your life comes first and it says correct? Right? You have to love your fellow Jew. Correct. So he says, when you look into the matter, when it says listen to this, Jigarik, leave them alone there. He says, when it says in the Torah that your life comes first before your friend, you ready for this? That's only in material stuff. Rabbi Nishamayim, but when it comes to V'ahavta l'recha kamocha, over there is speaking about spiritual stuff. You got it, you with me or not?
Yes. Yeah, so, but wouldn't keep going? Sorry, keep going.
So watch this. He says until Rabbi Akiva came, he says when it says in the Torah chayecha kodmim. That's when the case with the water. Who's going to survive? Physical, no problem. But this is in material stuff. But this is what I want to show you. But when it comes to heavenly matters, when it says you should love your fellow like you love yourself, eternal stuff. Kamocha, what does it mean like you? B'dvarim shel Torah tzarich le'et kamocha. Just like you are good in Torah, you have to make sure that the next Jew is also good in Torah. Over here, you can tell me that your life precedes their life. When it comes to learning Torah and doing mitzvot, just like you know how to learn Torah, you know how to do mitzvot, you must make sure the other Jew also knows. That's what it means, when your life is in danger, your life comes first because it's only material. But the students of Rabbi Akiva, you know what they wanted? They also wanted in things that have to do with the spiritual matters, they also wanted to be first. They didn't want to give the Torah over. They wanted to keep the Torah. They did not give one other respect. And they did not want to pass over the Torah. And they saw the Torah, that over there the Torah is saying, no, your life comes first. You should keep the Torah to yourself. No, it says you have to give over the Torah. So that's what these verses are not contradictory. When it says your life comes first, that's only material stuff. When it says you have to love your fellow Jew, just like you love to do mitzvot and you don't like to do averot, make sure you go out and you educate another Jew the same way. And that's what he says, Jugarik, Yesh achrayut al kol echad. There's a responsibility placed on every single Jew, lo rak lilmod, not only to learn Torah, and not only to go in the ways of Torah by himself, but rather you even have to help other people. This is what it means, go and love another Jew. You know how you love another Jew? By allowing him to feel the sweetness of Torah and mitzvot. And he concludes, and he says over here, that's why 24,000 students died. Because they went ahead and they went against the laws when it comes to spiritual matters. They were not supposed to do that. Just like you cannot be without the Torah, don't look at, if you see another Jew, he has no Torah in his life, make sure to see to it that he's learning Torah. You see another Jew that he's sinning, see to it that he stops sinning because he's destroying his neshama. We have a responsibility to go out and help every single Jew. When it says your life comes first, you got it. What do we do today? When it comes to your life comes first, we even think to our spiritual matter, oh, as long as I keep Shabbat, I learn Torah, I do mitzvot, what do I care about the next Jew? Big deal, he does sins, what do I care? But that's the problem, that's the problem. The whole way to be able to accept that the Torah is from generation to generation, that means we have an obligation to go ahead and educate other people in Torah. If you don't educate Chas v'Shalom, Mike, and this is where the problem comes. If you see another Jew not learning Torah, not doing mitzvot, and you can help him and you can educate him, are you being a good friend if you don't? You see a person dying, Chas v'Shalom, you see there's a big wooden tree fell on him, and you can pick it up, and if you're not going to do it, he's going to die. Are you called a good citizen or not?
No. You should help, but you can only bring the horse to the well. You can't force the horse to drink.
You're not forcing, but tell him. Educate him. Tell him, listen, there's Torah lessons, there's mitzvot you can do. This is a very you shouldn't do. This affects your neshama. You understand? You have to be able to educate them. Because you have to remember
I have a question.
Yeah.
How come these 24,000 students didn't have a chance to do teshuvah?
Yes, I don't know. I don't know how come they didn't have a chance to do teshuvah. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I could think of an answer, but I don't want to say it.
You what?
When you want to tell Rabbi, my question is, when you want to tell somebody you shouldn't eat non-kosher, should keep Shabbat, everybody turns away from it. It's something that they already know. So you're not saying anything new to them. They're not learning something new. How can you put it in a way so that they can actually do something about it?
Right, so number one, you have to basically live it first. You have to live it. If a person really lives a life of Torah, so when you speak, when words come out from the heart, they enter into the heart. That's what rabbis of blessed memory say. If you really care for the Jew, you shouldn't just rebuke any Jew. You have to have love for that Jew. You can't just go to anybody and say, okay, you, come here, you're not eating kosher, come over here, do this. You can't do that. He has to feel that you really love him. Once he feels that you love him, he's going to be able to accept it from you. But if he doesn't feel that you love him, he's going to think you're attacking him. So there's a way how you could go. Say it again.
No, back to your point about rebuke. If it's not done in the correct way, it's not rebuke at that point, correct?
Correct. So you should, if you can do it, don't do it.
So what's the best way to, let's say a fellow brother or your friend, what's the best way to portray it so that they're able to actually take it in?
So the way I would do it is I would, try to teach them Torah, not tell them outright what they're doing is wrong. If I'm giving a class like this or any other class, if I'm speaking, in a public setting, I'll speak the way I want to speak because I'm not pinpointing to nobody. But when I'm dealing with a person one-on-one, I'm not going to tell him directly what he's doing is wrong. But what I'll do is I'll learn with him, and eventually we're going to get to the subject that what he's doing is wrong. He's going to see it with his own eyes.
So it's not a one-time thing.
No, it's not. No, it's a work. No, it's a work in progress. The Zohar Kodesh says if a Jew knew what it means, to bring one Jew back, he would run after the Jew 70 years. It's not. Of course, it's It's not one thing. No, it takes process. You gotta first, build a rapport. You gotta build the leverage with him. Befriend him. Show that you have the best interest. You're sincere about trying to bring him back. You're not there to chas v'shalom push him away.
Right, I think in the previous calls, we spoke about the wives and how that's an issue. I think that's a good example so that, how can you say it to the wife in that?
You can't. You can't. You cannot.
You can't.
You cannot. You don't. Your wife is not your daughter. Your wife is your wife. She's your queen. You don't tell her what to do. You be the best example. She'll pick up off on you. She's gonna, when you behave like a mensch, you'll see she's gonna start changing. No, you can't say it. It's not even with your own children, you could only say so much. But if you lead by example, it's gonna change everything. It's not what you say, it's what you do. If I tell my children, right, go learn Torah, and I'm not learning Torah, chas v'shalom, they're not learning Torah. They're not gonna learn Torah. Why should they learn Torah? But if they see me learning Torah, they're going to want to learn Torah. So it really also depends on how you behave. It's really, you can't rebuke somebody else. This is very important to know. The Gemara says you cannot rebuke somebody else before you yourself have perfected in that matter. You understand? So if you want to tell a person, about the importance of eating kosher, right? You have to make sure that you keep all the laws of kashrut. You got to be at that level to be able to go out and speak. Or if a person goes to the beach or to the pool and he tells the other person, oh, it's wrong, you shouldn't go there. Yeah, but you're going there yourself. Why do you tell me not to go there?
So you got to lead by example.
You got to lead by example, correct. You have to lead by example. But Rabotai, I want to share with you over here, we have to understand, guys, when you have an opportunity to go ahead and educate, maybe I'll use the word educate more than rebuke. But you know what Shlomo Melech says? People that fear rebuke are fools. Why? Because Mike, can you imagine if a person in business comes to you and he tells you, Mike, you're doing X, Y, and Z wrong, do it this way, you're going to make more money. What, are you going to get upset with him? You're going to listen to him. When it comes to spirituality, we have to understand that when people rebuke us, it's for our own benefit. Just stop and look, why is she telling me? Why is he telling me that I'm doing X, Y, and Z wrong? Maybe I'm really doing something wrong. You could improve, you could benefit. Why live a crooked life? Why go ahead and, destroy your own soul in this world when you can change it? So Rabotai, I want to just...
Very, very good point, Rabbi.
Say it again? Jigari, you're breaking... I cannot hear. Jigari, you're breaking up. Okay, so guys, I want to go back to what we began with. When it says in the Torah, Chayechel Koidim, you should remember Chayechel Koidim, in other material stuff, your life comes first. It takes precedence, no problem. But when it comes to spiritual matters, Ve'ahavta l'recha kamocha, start loving your fellow Jew. Just like you love to learn Torah, you love to do mitzvot, you understand the benefit it gives you, start educating other people also. So there were these verses, they're not contradictory. Each one has its own purpose. Hayecha koidim is for material stuff. Ve'ahavta l'recha kamocha comes to teach you even for spiritual stuff. Yes, Jigarik, you with me, Jigarik? Man, you're walking too much over there.
I'm with you, Rabbi. I'm with you.
Rabotai, but we see from over here, as a bottom line, we see from over here, what? The fact that they did not want to pass down the Torah, since they were stingy and they did not want to go ahead and give her the Torah, what was their punishment? Death, chas v'shalom. That's why we have to be careful, Rabotai. When we see a Jew not going in the right way, try to show them how you could do it better. You go to the synagogue, Mike, look, come with me. You listen to a nice lecture, here, listen to this, just see, Rabotai, you have to remember, you never know, you plant the seed, and Ariel, I want to share with you something very important. Where's Yaakov? Where's Yaakov? The lawyer, he left. Oh, he's right there, okay. I want to share with you something. When you're going to tell a person something, what do you think they're going to change over? Yaakov, remember I told you this? When you tell a person something, they're not going to change overnight. They're not going to change overnight. But you know what you're going to do? You ever take a seed and you plant it? What happens?
Yeah. It grows.
But after how long?
Years. Yeah, I mean, it takes time.
Same thing over here. Same thing with us. Whenever you go ahead and you say one word of Torah, and you tell the person, you show them the importance of keeping Shabbat, the importance of learning Torah, the importance of doing mitzvot. You only said it, but what did you just do? You planted a seed in their brain. Eventually, over time, it's going to grow. Another person is going to say, another person is going to say it. Eventually, he's going to grow with it, and he's going to want to come back to Hashem. It doesn't happen overnight, guys. But it doesn't mean that you shouldn't start trying. People don't become rich overnight also, right? They have to work. They have to get there. Same thing over here. For a person who can become fully observant, he has to get there. So little by little, we educate people. The importance of doing mitzvot, learning, kashrut, and so on and so forth. Okay, Rabotai, if you guys have any questions, I will take it. If not, we will...
Rabbi, so who drinks the water?
Whoever's bottle is it. It is.
What do you mean whose bottle it is?
If it's my bottle, I drink the water.
What if there's one bottle, they come and there's one bottle on the table?
Whoever gets it first.
That's what we said in the beginning.
No, but I was saying no, but the case the Gemara says a person, Reuven has one bottle of water, half a bottle of water, where it's only one cup, enough for one person to survive. Does he share and they both die, or does he drink it himself?
He drinks it himself.
So the over there we say hayecha kodim. Over there, when it comes to your life, you drink. But when it comes to spiritual life, you don't forget about the next Jew. You always have to remember, try to pull in the other Jew with you. Don't allow them to die. Just like we can understand the importance of helping a person. If he's stuck under a car, under a train, you're not going to be, cruel, and you're not going to leave him. When we don't help Jews come back to Hashem and we don't show them the right thing, that we're being cruel to them. We're being cruel to their souls, which is a very big problem. And look at the punishment, 24,000 students. Because you guys have to...
I have a problem that they didn't have an opportunity for teshuvah. I have a problem with that.
I don't want to say they didn't have an opportunity to choose teshuvah.
They didn't. They died.
Mike, I didn't want to say this, but I'll say it like this, Mike. You have to understand, there's certain things when a person can sin, they can do teshuvah, correct? But in order to do teshuvah, you have to have enough time. Maybe they didn't have enough time. A person, for example, I'm going to give one example. A person ate not kosher, for example, correct? And he says, I'll do teshuvah tomorrow. He goes to sleep, he doesn't wake up the next morning. What happened now? Hashem gave him the time, but they didn't get a chance, they didn't have the opportunity to do teshuvah.
But that doesn't mean he died because he ate non-kosher.
No, I'm not telling you that's why he died. I'm just showing that he didn't get opportunity to do teshuvah.
You're saying they died because they were stingy with Torah.
They were stingy because they did not honor one another, correct?
But why?
So on their spiritual level, that was a red flag in God's eyes.
Because you remember why, Elon? Because you have to remember, Mike, we have to remember the point. The whole purpose of the Torah is to pass down from one generation to the next. From one generation to the next. Right. And when you have a person who says, I don't want to teach Torah, that's a very big problem. I had a scenario, I had to go teach somewhere, and I said, what happened to that other rabbi that didn't come? So you're not going to believe this, Mike. The other rabbi demanded a certain X amount of money. I'm not going to get to the halachot of this now. He said, if you don't pay me X amount of money, I'm not teaching. That's a problem. That is a problem. You can't withhold back from people the Torah. The Torah was given to you for free. You got to teach it to the Jewish people for free. You could charge them for the time you losing had you work somewhere else, but you can never charge for Torah. Torah was given to the Jewish people for free.
But he's not charging for Torah. He's charging for his time. You want me to show up? I charge X.
Right. If he says that, that would be nice, but he didn't say that. He said if you want, because he says I'm a proficient speaker. It cost me. I'm able to deliver better than anybody else. Okay, whatever it was, I don't care. I'm just trying to show you, Mike. You can't turn down the opportunity to teach Jews Torah. If you're in a crowd right now, you have 10 people sitting, and nobody's getting up to teach Torah, and everybody's just sitting around. You have an obligation to get up and teach them Torah. Tell them something. That's how it works. Where there's no man, you have to be a man. Okay, Rabbi Sai.
Rabbi, question.
Yeah.
What I don't understand is, since there were such big Torah giants, how come the Torah only specifies that one of Iran that they did? How come they did so much good? Why is it such a big problem that they had that one small, I would call it small, but it's such a small infraction that they did compared to what they've done in good.
Can I ask you a question? Do you know if the Torah does not if we don't start educating the next generation Torah, do you know there's going to be no more Jews left? Do you know there's going to be no more Torah Jews left? Do you understand? Let's say all the rabbis decide that they're going to only want to learn Torah for themselves, and they're not going to want to pass down Torah. Nobody's going to want to go ahead and teach other people Torah. 1 second, real. They're not going to want to teach other people Torah. That means the next generation is not going to have any Torah. That's a problem. Our Torah system is passed down from one to the next, and you want to cut that line out? That's a problem. And you should know, Ariel,
But isn't that with any religion, Rabbi?
Say it again?
Isn't that with any religion?
Say it again?
Isn't that with any religion? It's all passed down. Nothing, if it's not taught or whatever, it's not going to go anywhere.
No, every other religion is made up, you understand? Every other...
No, but I'm saying made up, not made up. It's not the point. I'm saying that's the only way anyone will learn.
You're right. How will they... Yeah.
To teach the future.
Correct. But can I share with you a very beautiful insight? You know what I read for you that Moshe Rabbeinu accepted from Sinai, and then he passed down to Yeshua, and so on and so forth. Do you know where I read it from, Mike? I read it from Pirkei Avot. I want to share with you some. Look, you see this? This is Pirkei Avot, the ethics of the fathers. Can you answer me? Rob is going to answer your question. Can you answer me? Why in the world does it have to tell me when it comes to ethical teachings? Because all this is ethical. When it comes to ethical teachings, why do you have to tell me that Moshe Rabbeinu got it from Sinai, passed it to Yeshua, and they went to the prophet? Why? You guys are ready? Rob, listen to this. You know why? Jigarik. Because you have ethics that are made up. People make up. You have a lot of times people make up their own ethics. You should know in Pirkei Avot, even when it comes to behaving like a proper Jew, everything came down from Hashem. This you could never change. Everything else, one day he's going to have a quote like this, the next day he's going to have a quote like this. Everybody changes based on their feelings. Our Torah is the same Torah that was given to Moshe Rabbeinu and the one we have today. Everything's never changed, not one iota. That's why I had to tell you over there that from Moshe, from Hashem to Moshe, from Moshe to Yeshua, and so on and so forth. To teach you that ethics has to also be passed down. Don't just learn from any Joe Schmo. Because one guy could say this, another person's going to say this, another one's going to have this quote, but this you have the real Torah which is handed down to us. So therefore, Rab, when you tell me they also have passed down, yeah, but their passed down is they make up their makeup as they go along. But our is, it's emet, is 100% there.
Just to clarify, Rabbi, you're saying that it wasn't a small Avera. You're saying
no, it's not. Of course, you're cutting the lineage. There's gonna be no more Torah Jews available. How are you gonna do that? How are you gonna do that?
Okay, Rabbi. So let's say these 24,000 students don't pass down any Torah teachings.
What now?
Okay, what now? Okay, now they died. They're not here to pass it down anyways.
That means
what changed?
We have no Torah.
What changed?
We have no Torah.
But they died.
So what's your question? I don't get it.
So these 24,000 students are being stingy and they don't want to pass down the Torah.
Correct.
Right? Okay. all 24,000 students die. How does that help the passing down of the Torah?
No, so what did Rabbi Akiva do? He got another
Future generation.
he got another 5 students, and he told them, I'm going to teach you Torah, because he's the only one that knew the Torah. Rabbi Akiva.
But why couldn't he do that? Add those 5 students anyways? Because the 24,000 are going to negatively impact them?
No, but he didn't know that. You have any idea what it means to run from every single day 800 burials? You have any idea what that? He didn't know what it was going about. After he realized what he came on, he's like, wow, what's going on over here? What's happening over here? But after he realized it was no more there was no more Jews. So he came to that conclusion, and that's what he told the five students, I'm teaching you Torah, and from you, all the Torah that we have, listen, Mike, we have today what we have in the Torah is all from 5 students. Can you imagine we had the 24,000? But if they wouldn't be here, and Rabbi Akiva would never teach it, we would never have the Torah. We would never know the Torah the way we know it today. I don't want to say Torah is like an inheritance, but that's what it is. If the father dies with his bank account, nobody knows what the bank...
Rabbi Akiva was when?
In the times of the Gemara. What do you mean when?
Like, wow. How far back?
Oh, way back. I don't know exactly, but way back.
The only lineage of that new Torah. What about everyone else?
No, because Rabbi Akiva, no. Not every, I hear what you're saying. No, but Rabbi Akiva, he was the one that was able to teach halachot that nobody was going to be able to know. Even Moshe Rabbeinu, when he saw into the future, he saw a person like Rabbi Akiva, he said, you have a person like him, why are you giving the Torah through me? Give the Torah through him. Because he was able to make halachot even from the points on the alphabet, from the quotes on the alphabet. He was able to make hundreds of halachot. He was very brilliant. All the Torah we have today is from these 5 students.
From the 24,000 students, that was a final decision that Hashem made, is to to have the students pass away. But as far as could it have been a chance that some 1% of the 24,000 could have done and would have changed their ways?
So
as opposed to just a permanent solution of just whacking all of them.
So I'm going to tell you like this: when there's a calamity, when there's like we had COVID over here, when there's a calamity that's coming, Hashem doesn't look if you're tzaddik, not tzaddik. Everybody goes. It's like being on a plane. If the plane is going down, you could have the biggest beard. The plane is not going to stop because of you in the middle of the air. You understand? One for all and all for one. That's how it works. That's why we as rabbis have an obligation to make sure that we protest against people that go against Hashem. Because if we're not going to say it, how are other people going to know? We're going to be held responsible tomorrow. This is the whole problem why we have to speak up.
They also say that a bad person, or if a person right before he passes away, he does a
Teshuvah. Yes. What about it? Yeah, but
how do you know that these 24,000 wouldn't have?
You're not listening. No, Rob. They didn't want to. They didn't teach the Torah to the next person. They don't want to teach their Torah. Rob, he could die. He could do teshuvah, but the Torah was not passed down. How the next generation is not going to have the Torah? Listen, the father regrets that he didn't leave all the billions of dollars to his children, and he died. What is that going to help? The children didn't get $1. I know one old guy who was a very rich guy, Rob. And no, when he wanted to tell the children where the money is, he couldn't speak. He was immobile. He couldn't move. Eventually, when they tried to bring him to the next day they wanted to bring him the wheelchair to the bank. At least show us. He passed away. They didn't make it. That's finished. What are you gonna do? He can feel bad as much as he wants. But the point is, Rob, the Torah was not transferred over. We have an obligation to transfer the Torah to other Jews. We have to educate other Jews. And that Jew should be yourself also, your wife, your children. You're sitting on the table, say, one or two halachot. Always speak to the children so the wife can pick up on it. Don't say to the wife. A lot of times they get very, unless she's very smart, she'll listen. But a lot of times they're very, how do you call it? If the woman is not if she's not fearing God, if she's all day on Instagram and TikTok and now you're going to tell her about the importance of, not being on it, not wasting your time, she's not going to want to listen to you. Why should she listen to you? All the problems that people have is because of because of these reels. All the problems. We don't understand what we're doing.
Because of what?
Because of what they watch on the TV. Everything over there is fake. Everything is fake over there. Rob, can you tell me, not that I'm saying, do you know before when I used to follow football, do you know how many athletes I knew in my time, the best athletes that were out there, except, Michael Jordan, let's say. But do you know how many athletes committed suicide? Why? What happened? They had but they showed to us that they're living the life. They're not living no life. They have no life. They have no life. Believe me, they have no life. The life is the Torah. Without Torah, we're nobody, we're nothing. So when the students didn't want to pass the Torah, so what do I need you here for? If a mother does not want to take care of the child, if the father doesn't want to take care of the child, what kind of parents? Yeah, they're parents, but what kind of parents are they? What do I need such parents? We have an obligation, Rob. The bottom line is we have an obligation, just like you understand what it means to learn Torah, to do mitzvah, to pray, to eat kosher. You see somebody not say, listen, maybe this, maybe that, maybe come to my house for Shabbat, invite them, speak to them, break them down a little bit. It's doable. There's a way to go around it. There's a way to go around these things. I was passing I went to Shabbat, somebody's house for Shabbat, and I came out of the building. Mike, listen to this. I came out of the building and I see over there a Bukharian guy with a cigarette in his mouth on Shabbat. With a cigarette, Mike. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do?
I don't know.
What do you think I did, Mike? What do you think I did?
What do you think? Shabbat Shalom and to keep going.
Yeah, I said Shabbat Shalom and I kept going. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do right now? Now's not the time to speak to him, you understand? Now's not the time. So I just said Shabbat Shalom and I kept going. I was in another building. There was a Bukharian girl, whatever woman. She was completely open. She walked into the elevator. She saw me. So then she had a scarf and she closed herself, like she didn't want. Okay, so I just with my innocence I said, look, listen, I'm like any other person. You don't have to be afraid of me. You have to be afraid of God. Well, just because I'm a rabbi, you have to be afraid of God.
Apparently she has some kind of something left where she can cover herself.
Nah, people are afraid of people. People are not afraid of God. That's the problem. You understand? People are no longer afraid of God. People fear more people than they fear God. But this is it, Rab. This is what we have to do. We have an obligation to make sure that we pass down the Torah. Whether it's going to be other people, whether it's going to be ourselves, whether it's going to be our children, we have to educate. We have to continuously educate. If we're not going to do it, we're going to lose the generations. And that's what you see happening. You see this happening with our own eyes today. How many Bukharian boys that unfortunately died, overdose, this, that. A lot of them, we're losing a lot of them. They're doing all these kiruv programs, they're doing outreach programs, which is very nice. Baruch Hashem, thank God. But we have to do more. We have to do more. Even losing one Jew it's a very great loss for us, because not one Jew, it's a generation that we're losing. His generation, the generation after that. So that's why Rabbi Akiva's students, they don't want to pass down the Torah. So okay, you don't pass, and that's the punishment. And I just wanted to let you know. Just you see, one second, Mike.
Right? Why couldn't Hashem divert Rabbi Akiva on a different path to teach?
Mike, we can't say why you understand? The Torah says this. I don't know why. If it happened, it happened. You understand? I can't, I'll undo what Hashem did already. But this reminds me.
But to at least understand.
Yeah, understand next time. You're driving in a car. You're driving in a car. You see there's a pothole. You don't pay attention. You go inside one time. You got a hole. You broke your rim. Next time you're gonna be careful. But it already happened. What am I supposed to do? It happened. He picked up on this after. Mike, you have to understand. You have 24,000 students learning in yeshiva all day, and everything in Rabbi Akiva's eyes seemed perfect.
That's not my question. My question is, Hashem is in control of everything. Yes.
Correct.
Okay. So if Hashem's decision to make the call, okay, these 24,000 students are on the wrong path. They're being stingy. Whatever the reasons are, they got to get cut off. Why, instead of that, it couldn't have been give them the opportunity to make teshuvah, but pivot Rabbi Akiva into a different direction so he can reach other people.
Because passing down the Torah from generation to the generation is our source. If they're not going to pass, we're not going to have any Torah. And maybe Rabbi Akiva would never know that that's the problem. He would never know that that's the problem. They could have done.
Hashem could point them in a different direction.
I understand. He could, if would, but it didn't happen like that. You understand? Ariel, I was going to tell you, you could ask a question, why such a punishment? The Gemara brings down that Hashem doesn't take bribery. It doesn't matter who you are. If you're not doing what Hashem expects of you to do, if Hashem blessed you with $100 billion and you keep it for yourself and you're not helping other people around, Hashem is going to take away your money from you. He's not going to let you have it. Two things are going to happen, Jigari. Either he's going to take away the money from you, or either he's going to take you away from the money. That's it, finish. You have to understand, it's the same system. If Hashem blessed you with something, you have a certain quality, you have a certain attribute, go ahead and share with other people. I always say, you have a lot of rich people, Baruch Hashem, today, that they make parties, Mike. They make parties which are not in accordance with the law, with the Jewish law. Do you know that if some of them just open their mind and would do it with the Jewish law, you know how many people they would change? You have any idea how many people they would change? One guy told me that there's a girl, Bukharian girl. Again, I'm not on Instagram, so I don't know these things. He told me she has 1 million followers. I can't even imagine what does that mean, 1 million? How do you get 1 million followers? I said, what does she do? She's a model, so she shows off her body. She has all these designer clothes. I don't know what she does. I don't care. I don't know who this girl is. So I said, what do you want from me? He said, if you could bring her husband back, and her husband's going to be able to bring her back, imagine she's lighting the candles on Erev Shabbat, and she posted on Instagram. You know what 1 million followers is? At least from those million, you know how many people are going to start lighting candles because of her? You see what kind of
Jews.
Huh? I agree, but I agree. I'm just trying to tell you what kind of impact we can have. You understand? That's what I'm trying to bring out. We are able to impact other people. We have to be able to impact them. We shouldn't die with the music within us. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's what Rabbi Akiva's students did. Unfortunately, they went and they wanted to keep the Torah to themselves. They don't want to teach. We have an obligation to educate other people in Torah. And this goes back to what we said in the beginning. If somebody comes and he rebukes you and he tells you you're not learning Torah, you're not doing the tefillin the correct way, he tells you nicely, lovingly, he's not screaming, he's explaining it to you. Appreciate the fact that he's taking his time. He could have lived his life. You think he needs it? You think he needs a whole community to hate him? You think he doesn't need it?
Oh, not to hate, but it's.
But that's what comes out, Mike. That's what comes out. People hate. Nobody loves to hear the truth.
To the teachings.
Say it again.
Maybe they weren't taught correctly.
No, Mike. Like Ariel said, people know. Everybody knows, Mike. The question is, do they want to do it? That's it. People know. It matters. Do they want to do it or not? And unfortunately, not everybody wants to do it. Not everybody wants to do it. People love the way they live life until something happens and then they say, oh, Rabbi, help us. But then sometimes it's too late. Don't wait for the last moment. Don't allow the music to die within you. You have people that, I believe in her, I see. I even go, I speak to them, I say, look, you guys are very big Torah giants. Make a, I said, tell Avram Biyachad, Avram DJ Avram, tell him, let him record you, post it on YouTube, and I don't know where let him post it, let him do the job for you. Spread your Torah, spread your knowledge. No, I'm not ready yet. Why you want to be humble? What do you want to be humble? They're learning anyway garbage outside, correct? Teach them something from Torah. Teach them the Torah. They're anyway going to learn garbage. Maybe they're going to come across you. Maybe they're going to stumble across you. But that's the thing. This is exactly what we want to say. Ve'ahavta l'recha kamocha. Love your fellow Jew just like you love yourself. You want to make sure that you're going to have a good olam haba. Make sure the other Jew also has a good olam haba. But when it says chayecha kodim, your life comes first, you got it? That's for material stuff. No problem. That you want to drink the water because that's your life. No problem. But spirituality could be shared. Educate. And Jigari, what just hit me? Jigari, a beautiful chiddush just hit me. It makes sense. When a person, wow, this is not normal. A person doesn't want to teach his business. Look how Torah is so beautiful. A person doesn't want to teach his business because he's afraid you're going to take away the parnassa, correct? He's afraid. You're going to open up across the street, right? But look what the Hashem says. By Torah, Hashem says, teach. You got to give over. And you're not going to lose nothing. You see how beautiful it is? You should know, even in the business, if you teach another Jew business, you don't lose a penny also. You don't lose. Anyway, guys.
That's beautiful, Rabbi. I don't know if you guys hear me well, but that was beautiful.
I heard you.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Okay. Jigarik, impressive. Learning, walking on a date night.
We do what we can, Rabbi.
No, very good. But you see, Hashem looks at these things, Jigarik. Hashem looks at these things. Hashem looks at these things. If a person is giving his all effort to sit and learn Torah, you understand? Even when you're working, even when you're on vacation. But this is what Hashem wants to see. He wants to see committed people. This is a soldier, Jigarik. You have to wake up in the middle of the night. You're going to wake up in the middle of the night. What time did you fly out today? Jigarik, 4 o'clock?
Too early. Too early. I'm on like 3 hours of sleep. That's why I'm a little quiet.
I know. Okay, guys.
I love you, Rabbi.
I'll see you guys.
Wow.
I'll see you, baby.
I'll see you.
I'll say Martin.
Enjoy, brother.
Come through.
I was there 40 years ago.
Love you, Rabbi.
I'll see you
Go to
guys.
the side.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.